Well, what you see here, guys, definitely belongs to a brand new-ish audio accessory category, and I agreed to test this X-Duo DT1 phone dock DAC, or hi-fi turntable for smartphones as they like to call it, partly because I wanted to learn more about these kinds of docks, but also partly because there aren't many reviews out there of the DT1, so I wanted to be sure to get this out to you guys. But anyways, after spending a few weeks with the DT1, here's what I found. The X-Duo DT1 retails for $160, comes in only one colorway that you see right here. In the background, it is run by an oldish chipset, and I only say that because it was launched way back in 2019, the chipset, but it's still the highly capable and highly used Sabre ES9038Q2M DAC that processes 32-bit, 384 kHz PCM, and native DSD 256 signals. This thing weighs 400 grams. Pretty darn portable. Once you detach this magnetic phone plate at the back here, it attaches right there. Because this is like an aluminum alloy outer shell, it can be easily toted around. You just throw this in your backpack. It doesn't come with a carry case, but I've tried to manhandle this and it has handled it pretty darn well. No scratches, no nothing. So it's a very, very solid device. It feels really nice and weighted in your hands though, I would say that. Now at the front here, there is a indicator light right there that will tell you charging status. You can charge your phone with this, or whatever files you push out, it will show whatever bitrate is being played actively at that time. There is the front here, the headphone out is 350 milliwatts, so it'll drive pretty much any headphone, no problem. There's also at the back here a few outs right here in the in, so you have two USB-Cs in, one for specifically for USB data and the other one for power. In terms of output, there are four options at the back besides the headphone at the front. So starting from the far left, you have auxiliary, coaxial, Toslink, and USB can serve as a DAC bypass as well. Now a little word is when you're connecting this, you can probably tell already, when connected to external speakers, be sure that they're passive. What you get in the box is really bare bones, to be honest. There's 3 cables and the unboxing experience is also really meh. There's a lot of foam, paperwork, and that's about it. No carry cases, I mentioned, but it's about this whole unit, so that's good for the price. Now, for cables, you get a really nice long braided USB-C to USB. You can use this for power supply or to connect to an external device, and you have a couple of shorter L connectors. And this is short because you're trying to route the power or data from your phone into the system. So you have either USB-C to USB-C or a USB-C to Lightning if you want to connect to an Apple device. So you can see where the compatibility is there too, which is really nice. So what I'm going to do is show you how everything is connected together. I have an external USB-C power supply right here, and if I route the cable around the front for the phone, and I rest the phone on the, well, I just connect this first, connect the phone there, route it underneath, and then see how the cable comes through at the bottom, and then rest it on the backrest right here. That's how it works. And then when you power it on, you can either play it through USB-C out or auxiliary or headphones or whatever, and you flick the switch right here and the appropriate bitrate light will come on. Of course, the power is right there on off, right in the middle. And also, if you like to charge your phone, and it actually charges at a pretty decent clip as well, so you know, if you have a higher power phone with that needs more juice, like this is a OnePlus Open, I can run it with the double screen on and it will charge it, and not like, you know, just keep it some chargers are pretty steady state and don't have enough amps to juice your phone. This will cover it, so something to bear in mind there. So you flick the switch to charge the phone and you're good to go. Let me tell you something. One of the first things I noticed when I started testing this, and every subsequent time after that, is the amount of spaciousness of my test tracks. The entire playlist. It almost feels like you're listening to your songs in a concert hall front and center, just minus the reverbs and echoes. Well, aside from those already built into the recording, of course, like Katorna by the Tomas Stanko Quartet, Croaking Lizards by the Upsetters, David Bowie Anything. They all have an openness that gives your music just more room to breathe and for your ears to take in all that information. And this effect works fantastic with small 2.1 desktop speakers, which is really what this is designed for. But interestingly, it's quite well judged for headphones as well. Now, treble gets a little harsh and fatiguing, like the crashing of hi-hats and saxophone altissimos, but for the most part, the DT1 pushes out clean and detailed notes from sub-bass all the way up. One really nice thing about the DT1 is that it's also quite forgiving in what files you feed it. Now, Xduo markets this as a dock using your phone to pump high-res media, and it will do all the conversion and all that. But even if you don't subscribe to top-tier packages from Tidal or Amazon Music Ultra HD or whatever, and just have good high-res files lying around, or if you use a more plebeian plan like Deezer Premium, the Sabre DAC has the juice to work with that information. The $160 on this is compelling for those looking for a docking station solution that's similar to something like the Hibi CR08 that's pretty much double the price. And I mean, there are more mod cons on that device, but from a dollar to performance ratio, the DT1 is hard to beat. So talking about the Hibi does bring to light some of the disadvantages of the Xduo. So the DT1, if you haven't noticed already, doesn't have balanced headphone or XLR outs. The latter, I would say, is a nice to have feature, so not a big deal if it doesn't have it. But I seriously think that not having at least a balanced 4.4mm port is a more significant miss for many experienced users who may want to buy this. You know, this whole phone charging on a stand idea, requiring users to fish for the cable each time they need to use it and connect and charge the device, seems clunky to me. Ideally, I would prefer to just be able to plop my phone on the stand, and have the USB-C jack sticking out from the bottom, ready for some penetration action. That was bad. Sorry, children. This last one is less of a con and more of a PSA. The fact that the more you use the dock with your phone, you're going to be reducing the lifespan and also increasing the chances of damage of your phone's USB-C port. Between, say, the number of times you plug in your phone at home and then in your car, plus this dock every day, you know what I mean? It adds up, guys. I really like how this sounds and performs, guys. It's absolutely hard to fault in these categories. And also the workmanship is tops. The buttons and switches have really nice positive action. The LED status light is large but has a nice muted and haze look, so it doesn't blind the heck out of you at night. Although I would say that the volume dial on the right side is quite recessed and ought to be in a more central location, in my opinion. Now, another point I like to make, on one hand, I have some questions about the use case. It seems quite limited to me. Like with the DT1 being marketed as a phone turntable, you're basically forced to have the dock physically close to you, since you probably want to use your phone while you're listening to your music, right? And of course, you can solve this little problem by using a secondary phone or tablet as the media source, so your main phone doesn't have to be tied down. So overall, as a product, I think the DT1 slots between a small desktop DAC amp that still have phones connected to them, just less elegantly, and something like the FiiO R7, R9 that basically have phones built into them that will eventually become obsolete. But not in this case. Well, that's it for the Xduo DT1 review, guys, and thanks to Apos for sending me this loaner unit. If you'd like to see more videos like this and more content, please like this video, subscribe, and reshare this with your friends. And by the way, I've added in the video description below something I've been working on for years but never really got down to getting it done, is a spreadsheet of all my scores, links to the videos, links to buy them, and a breakdown of how I got to those scores for every product I reviewed. I know if you look at it now, it's kind of bare bones. I'm working from the newest back down to the oldest, just rebuilding it from stock, so bear with me, but feel free to use it and share it with your friends too. And thank you for watching, guys, for being here and spending time with me, and remember to do something loving and kind for somebody in this world, this weekend, today, or whatever it is, because if you haven't noticed, the world needs it more than ever, and it starts with you. I love you all very much. Peace out and God bless.